Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at game number 2 between Inori and Fenix. This time we are on the map Antigua Shipyard. Spawning in the lower left-hand position, we've got our blue Terran player Fenix, and in the upper right-hand spawn location, our red Protoss player Inori. Inori wins last game with just a Zealot and a few Stalkers, moving out against Fenix, who went for that 1-Rax expand and did not defend himself with an early game bunker. Really, Fenix's loss there. Yes, he lost the game, but the point is that Fenix lost the game for himself. It wasn't so much that Inori beat him, it's that Fenix beat himself. You really need that bunker early on, and that is exactly why Fenix got rolled by the Stalker and the Zealot pressure. The problem early on when you go 1-Rax expand is you just have Marines, and Stalkers have a range and a speed advantage, so with a little bit of micro, they can do tremendous amounts of damage. And of course, we also saw the Zealot in the mix there from Inori, which provided pressure to try to force the Marines back. Whenever the Marines started to chase the Stalker, you would just see the Zealot pull towards the Marines, and that's a major threat to the Zealots, so then the Marines head back and the Stalker turns around. It was really great micro from both players, but definitely Inori has the advantage in that situation, and not getting in the bunker is what caused Fenix to lose the game. Now that was game number 1. We are here in game number 2. It's a brand new day. Anything goes. Let's see what ends up happening. Neither player scouting yet. Inori still just chilling back, going for them minerals early on. Doesn't really care to scout out this early. Last game we saw him scout after that second pylon, so we will see if he decides to do the same, and that second pylon will be coming right now, right between 15 and 16 supply. Once he gets those next 100 minerals, we should see that get dropped down, and then a scout move out after the fact. Fenix also now finally moving out with his scout. Now he will yet again be going 1-Rax expand. Hopefully this time we see that bunker. I don't want Fenix to make the same mistake 2 games in a row. That would be absolutely tragic. Gateway now finished here, and drops down the cybernetics core, and again goes straight back to mining. Inori feeling a little confident here, decides not to move out with that early scouting. I think he pretty much knows that there'll be another 1-Rax expand. That is really strong on this map as well. 1-Rax expand in general, you see it so often nowadays, and it's so funny. You watch the metagame in StarCraft 2 change, and just you get into these situations where it's almost the same opener all the time, depending on the matchup and the map. But it's because it's deemed the strongest at that point. For example, you look at PvZ and how prevalent the Forge Fast expand is. It's just so very prevalent on certain maps. There's really no reason not to go for it. It's typically a safe opening, very strong opening, economic openings. Obviously also always a really good idea as well. Now finally we will be seeing Fenix get that bunker earlier than he did last game, and hopefully that'll make it so that he's all set. You can see now that that first Zealot has just popped and the Stalker on the way. Last time we didn't see that bunker, and the Stalker and the Zealot were already all the way in Fenix's base. And also that is a much larger map, Tal'Darim Altar, than this map, Antigua Shipyard, is. As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure it's larger. I'm almost 100% positive. I'm sure someone's got exact dimensions. I just don't know that in my head. I apologize. Bunker now finished. Get those Marines in there, and now he's all of a sudden nice and safe against Zealot and Stalker pressure. Don't even know if Inori's going to bother moving out with that anyways. Really early Twilight Council here from Inori, so we'll be seeing some quick tech from him. I'm really excited to see what he decides to do with that. Also coming down with another gateway. Might see a third gateway as well, unless he is going to follow this up with a Nexus. Wouldn't it be the worst idea, as again Fenix did go 1-Rax expand, so he's going to have a very strong economy early on. We will again have to wait and see what Inori decides to do. Coming out with a third gateway now, so still just on the 1 base. Twilight Council in play, and what'll it be? Blink Stalkers, Charge Zealots, Blink Stalkers it is. Opening of Blink Stalkers here from Inori, again starting off just on the 1 base. Back over here for Fenix, he does have those double refineries up and saturated, so we'll be able to start to tech up and get those upgrades as well. We do have 1 tech lab and a reactor. Out of that tech lab, probably going to expect that stim pack research to be the first thing he decides to do. Robo also coming out from Inori. Inori is now dedicated here. 1 base play. There's the 4th gateway. No expansions anytime soon here from Inori. Blink Stalkers. The great thing about this robotics is that you can get that observer, gain vision of the high ground, and just blink Stalkers right into Fenix's main, completely bypassing any of the frontal defenses that he may have. Oh, this is going to be a major headache for Fenix. Let's see if he gets any scouting of this done. There's the scan. He spots it. Spots 4 gateways, spots the fact that this is researching. The one thing he does not see right now, though, is this right here. He does not see that Robo, so he's not 100% sure, although I feel like he must be pretty certain that he will be seeing some Blink Stalkers. Charge Zealots is also a possible composition for a Protoss player, but this early on you don't typically see it. So I think he's going to be expecting some Blink Stalker action, and here is a pylon, and I do believe this provides him just enough wiggle room up here to warp into the high ground once he does gain vision. I think he's right on the edge. I'm not positive though. We'll see in just a moment once his observer comes into play. And there it is. Observer now in place. Second observer also coming on through. Very, very stalker heavy, as he should be, sitting now with a total of 7 stalkers. Another pylon also coming out, and here it begins, guys. Aggression from inori here in game number 2, after quickly and quite easily winning game number 1. SCV skirting the edge, looking for, spots it. There's the pylon. And there are the Blink Stalkers up in the main, and all of a sudden Fenix has got a big problem. He has got Stalkers in his main. This is going to be a major, major headache for him. Already losing a few of those SCVs. Has constructed a bunker up in the main to help defend himself. He's going to have a hard time dealing with this. You can see that stim pack research wasn't what he first got. He first went for a combat shield, and of course our concern here with that is that not stimming up is going to be making things much more difficult for him when it comes to dealing with these Blink Stalkers. And we're seeing some more warped in sometime very shortly here from Mr. Inori, and there we go, a couple more Stalkers coming through. He is within range of that pylon, although he doesn't have enough firepower quite as of yet to actually take that out. Stalkers back up in the main, going straight for those Marauders. That is the biggest threat. Marauder manages to make it in the bunker, but those Marines getting shredded right now, and again, not having stim pack is really terrible here for Fenix. Trying to get out that reactor to stop the production of those double Marines. SCV's pulling off the line. Stalkers are just going to pull back and now blink down as they get low. Love the micro there from Inori. Fenix should have enough to be okay at the moment, but he has lost a lot. Already losing 17 workers. Couple more Stalkers coming through. Now, he does have 4 warp gates, right? Yes, he does. He does have 4 warp gates. Keep in mind here, too, that Inori has to kind of win the game here. He is actually now going down with an expansion, so there we go. Not fully committed to this. He has managed to do quite a bit of damage to Fenix. That's really a big advantage for him right now. Moving forward to the natural expansion, trying to do a bit of harass over here as well. Going to continue to just dance around. Zealot in the resource line over there, killing off a few more workers. I believe he was at 17, so I think that Zealot got 3 more. Snipes down the reactor. That burns to completion. That sounded dirty. Takes out the Marauder. A couple more Marines as well. Loving this harass early on here from Inori. Quite impressive indeed. He is finally going to be overwhelmed. There's a bit too much here for him to handle, and now with that stim pack research, that's going to make things even more difficult for those Blink Stalkers. That should be enough to finally force Inori back, and we will take a final body count here as Inori heads back. The pylon gets taken out, forces a cancel of those 2 Stalkers that were warping in. And yeah, this harass is pretty much finished now. Let's take a look. About even in terms of resources lost, but this is a big problem here as well. 24 SCVs killed. That's a lot of SCVs lost there for Fenix, and that certainly does hurt him. Might be trying to come out with a counterattack though. He's sitting Marauder heavy, and that is going to be very strong against a Stalker heavy composition. Let's see if we see a few Zealots in the mix. Is he going to come out with that charge upgrade? Nothing yet. Just now working to saturate that natural expansion, and Fenix again able to defend. It looks like he's going to be checking around. Wants to see if there's any additional proxy pylons. He hasn't spotted these observers yet. There's 2 of them. Nice hiding positions though. We take a look at his vision. You can see he doesn't see those at all. There's lots of vision granted from that. A little bit. Oh, he can see that right now. Let's see if he actually spotted that. I don't know that he did. More and more Stalkers now streaming across the map. Again, they do still have vision of the high ground, so they can blink up there, try to do some damage. Taking out those attachments was pretty huge, though. Looks like he's going to try to continue to soften up Fenix forces, taking a couple pop shots, killing off a unit or 2, and then just pulling back. We do also have a Dark Shrine coming out here for Inori, so we'll be preparing to get some DT out. Can, of course, also use those to make some Archons. That is the other option for him. Finally going to start to see some medevacs come into play, something that Fenix desperately needs, because with every engagement that a stim is forced, his units get softer and softer, and not having those medevacs there to heal them back up makes it very, very difficult for him to maintain that for very long. War Prism coming out just to finish there with that a Dark Shrine, so let's see if we're going to get some DT warped into the main. And that's a problem for Fenix, of course, because that will force scans, and he's just wasted a scan already on that 1 observer. There's still a 2nd observer over here. Lots of bio there. That is definitely going to force Inori back as Fenix is starting to mobilize and prepare now for a counterattack. We get that War Prism moving across the map. Let's see if Fenix does end up spotting it. Oh, it's going to be close. Please don't pass the bio with your War Prism. That's a problem. Inori could have snuck right up on Fenix there, but walking right past his bio gave it away, and now Fenix knows to be aware that that is coming. And I think with that, he should be all set. Now, does he have any energy? Not a lot. It's just enough to scan right there at that orbital. And now Inori has to worry about defending. Going to be forcing some scans over here on the offensive as Fenix continues to move forward. And as long as he just keeps warping in DTs one at a time, he can continue to force scans. Although at the moment, Fenix does not have enough energy for a scan. He's going to be tearing through this, though. Look at that. Stemming up the bio, going straight for all those stalkers. Absolutely working through him. Now we got a couple DT over here doing a lot of damage in return. Fenix just calls the GG. He's got the 2 DT now in his natural expansion. He doesn't have, just about to have enough energy to scan right up here at that orbital, but then he also has to worry about scanning over here, and yeah, there's a DT over here as well. So Inori splitting up his DT, forcing scans. Fenix without enough energy realized he was about to lose the game, and what a quick series here between these two players. Alright, my friends, that does it for the series here between Inori and Fenix. Inori ends up winning this very, very quickly. Game number 1 in a matter of just 3 or 4 minutes, and game number 2 also quite quick as well. We saw that opening Stalker harass followed it up with some DT, and unfortunately for Fenix, not enough energy to scan in multiple locations on the offensive and on the defensive. Ends up just calling the GG. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe and check out my website, forstrategygaming.com. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.